heathens, and welcome to my channel. I am Beauty Heathen, and my channel is dedicated to the exploration of paganism through the medium of cosmetics. If you feel you would enjoy the subject matter or find my content of interest, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and set the bell to all to be notified of when I release new videos. Today's episode returns to the normal content and format I've been doing to a degree. Obviously, the plan of Magical Monday has shifted, as has Tutorial Tuesday. I decided to combine the two together into an episode on Monday, where I give actual ritual guidance and tutorial to some extent. Tuesdays will be a reading of some nature, and Fridays will either be readings or something else, be it if something irks me and I need to vent. That will likely be on Fridays. Wednesdays and Thursdays will be dedicated to the educational content that I've been doing on this channel, be it covering a deity, a holiday, theology, or any number of aspects of paganism. Education is a large part of where my heart lies, so to be honest, while I was glad to give myself the break, a much needed break, I'm glad to be returning to it. And I have some new palettes to try. I have some new cosmetics. So as you can see, I have the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette. I've been very anxious to get into it because, let's face it, it is stunning. And of course, all of my post-it notes decided to come off the mirror right as I was going to open it. Give me 1 second. There we go. It's beautiful. I'm just going to leave it open until I decide whether or not I'm going to use that, or maybe I'll use a combination of things. We'll see. I don't really have a plan. Unfortunately, my head looks a bit ashy today, so I'm really sorry about that. I had a little bit of difficulty blending the two colors of the LA Girl Pro HD coverage, the HD foundation that I've been using. Because I'm running low on the color Toast, I've been combining this one and bronze. Bronze is too orange. So combining the two seems to be helping for the tone, but apparently I either let it sit too long before applying the setting powder. I mean, tonight was rough. Tonight was rough, I'm not gonna lie. So in trying to be time efficient, I was a little slow finishing the head, and as such, things got a little ashy. So, anyway, today's episode will be about the Ides of March. And where the Ides of March is a springtime subject, let me try to find brushes that will be suitable for me to use today. I did wash them. I had to put some through a second washing today, so they're not quite dry yet. Well, these are the ones that I have downstairs in the tree for drying are not quite yet. Let's see, is this the one that, no, oh, there it is. I just found one of my Jeffree Star brushes in a container earlier, and I realized, hey, I haven't used that one yet. So, hey, I was happy to find something I hadn't used yet. Just trying to get set up a bit, don't mind me. I'm not sure. I got this palette in BoxyCharm Premium box. Yeah. And it's beautiful. It is a beautiful palette. I just don't think it's going to fit with kind of the theme I'm going for today. So I'm going to put that one to the side. And I'm going to start off as I normally do with the section from the Ulta box with the blushes and highlighters, because I always seem to start there. And with all of that, on with the show. The Ides of March is a day on the traditional Roman calendar that corresponds to the date of March 15th on our current calendar. Today, the date is commonly associated with bad luck. Unfortunately, a reputation that it earned at the end of the reign of the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar, who ruled Rome from 100 to 43 BCE. Today may be a rough cosmetics day. I'm already noticing a little bit of I don't want to work. But again, that is likely because things just didn't go the way I'd hoped with the setting powder. Again, my normal disclaimer, do not look to these heads or anything of that nature as how cosmetics react on human skin. These heads do not have texture. They do not have pores. They do not have anything of that nature. And they are protected with a layer of hairspray, which makes them very shiny and slick. Then I put foundation over them. Then I put setting powder. Usually the setting powder helps grip the cosmetics a bit, but as we can see, I've already started off on a rough note, so whether or not things are going to work today remains to be seen. So if you are looking for reviews on products, this is not your channel. There's plenty of them. In 44 BCE, Julius Caesar's rule in Rome was in trouble. Caesar was a demagogue, a ruler who set his own rules, frequently bypassing the Senate to do what he liked and finding supporters in the Roman proletariat and his soldiers. Does anybody else ever have struggle saying soldiers versus shoulders? Every now and again, I struggle with that. It's a pretty color. Just trying to figure out highlighter real quick. I think I'll just do this pink one here. The Senate made Caesar dictator for life in February of that year. But in truth, he had been the military dictator governing Rome from the field since 49. And if you are unfamiliar with how BC time scale goes, it goes from the highest number down. So in the realm of years, year 44 is more recent than year 100. So just giving that clarification in case people are just tuning in and haven't seen my videos before. And highlighter applied. Now to try to figure out eyes. When he returned to Rome, he kept his stringent rules, which, as we all know, doesn't necessarily win over the hearts and minds of people. According to the Roman historian Suetonius, of course I went too far. I'm out of practice. The haruspex, or seeress, or diviner, seer, psychic, however you want to put it, Spirina, warned Caesar in mid-February of 44, telling him that the next 30 days were to be fraught with peril, but the danger would end on the Ides of March. When the Ides of March came to be, Caesar initially heeded the seer's warning and planned to stay inside. However, two of his friends convinced him the warning was nonsense and to attend the Senate meeting as he was previously scheduled to do. On his way to the Senate, he encountered the seer and said to her, "The Ides of March are come." To which she replied, "Aye, Caesar, but not gone." Which is to say, she was trying to warn him, you're still in danger. Just because they've come doesn't mean that you're safe. I think I'm going to start with the color Monarchy from the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette. We'll see how it goes. Just putting down a neutral base. Before Caesar went to the theater of Pompey to attend the Senate meeting, he had been given advice not to go, but he did not listen. Not just from the soothsayer, but doctors had advised him not to go for medical reasons, and his wife Calpurnia had also didn't want him to go based off of troubling dreams that she had had. On the Ides of March of 44 BCE, Caesar was murdered, stabbed to death by the conspirators near the theater of Pompey where the Senate was meeting. Caesar's assassination transformed Roman history, as it was a central event in marking the transition from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire. His assassination resulted directly in the Liberators' Civil War, which was waged to avenge his death. With Caesar gone, the Roman Republic did not last long and was eventually replaced by the Roman Empire, which lasted approximately 500 years. The initial 2 centuries of the Roman Empire existence were known to be a time of supreme and unprecedented stability and prosperity. The time period came to be known as Roman peace. There's a reason why I'm going into all of this detail, so bear with me. The Roman calendar did not number days in an individual month sequentially from first to last, as is done today. Rather than sequential numbering, the Romans counted backwards from 3 specific points in the lunar month, depending on the length of the month. Those points were the nones, which fell on the 5th in months within 30 days, and the 7th day in 31-day months. I know this is going to be a little bit confusing, but hang in there with me. The Ides were either the 13th or the 15th day in the month, and the Calends were the first of the following month. The Ides typically occurred near a month's midpoint, specifically on the 15th in March. The length of the month was determined by the number of days in the moon's cycle. In March's Ides date was determined by the full moon. Okay. Now that I have a plain base, I actually think, do I want to use this one or do I want to use another palette here from Bella&Co? I think I'll try the one from Bella&Co. It has a wide array of colors, and now that I've applied a neutral base, I think I'd like to see what I can get. Hopefully this palette works okay. We will see. Again, it does not reflect on Bella&Co.'s formula. There have been a number of rave reviews about this palette online and especially on Twitter. So if it doesn't work out on the head, it's not her. It's just the way of things tonight, okay? I especially don't want someone who's starting off on their business to be sullied by something if it doesn't work. So, putting that out there. Okay, and I'll grab this one first, and I think, let's see, we're looking for springtime colors. I think I'm going to try this green color. They don't have names, so I have to say, very good pigment on the brush. Before it became notorious as the day of Caesar's death, the Ides of March was a day of religious observations on the Roman calendar, and it is possible that the conspirators chose this date because of that. Nice color pigment on the head. So it looks like I found another palette that works well with these heads. Very nice. In ancient Rome, a festival for Anna Perenna was held on the Ides of March. Perenna was a Roman deity of the circle of the year. Her festival originally concluded the ceremonies of the new year, as March was the first month of the year on the original Roman calendar. Thus, Perenna's festival was celebrated enthusiastically by the common people with picnics, eating, drinking, games, and general revelry. The Anna Perenna festival was, like many Roman carnivals, a time when celebrants could subvert traditional power relations between social classes and gender roles, when people were allowed to speak freely about sex and politics. Most importantly, the conspirators could count on the absence of at least a part of the proletariat from the center of the city, while others would be watching the gladiators' games. It was also the start of a festival recalling the story of the doomed love affair between the I did practice this before I hit record. Phrygian mother goddess Cybele and Attis, a young shepherd. So, there's more than one deities and festivals and lore celebrated all around this time. Okay. And let's see, I want to find, let me use this one again and let me look for, there doesn't seem to be, think I'm going to go in with this blue color on the crease. Good color payoff. Anna Perenna is the Roman goddess of long life and renewal, also health and plenty. Her two names both make reference to the year. Anna means to live through a year, while Perenna means last many years, still seen in English words annual and perennial. So now you know how those words came to have that meaning. She seems to be concerned with cycles of renewal and connecting the past to the present. She herself is described in some legends as old and in others as young. Her festival was held on the Ides of March, the 15th, or midpoint of the month, when in the old calendar the moon was full, and the timing both within the month as well as within the larger cycle of the year also points to a relationship with memory, cyclical time, and endings becoming beginnings. For March was considered the first month of the year when springtime was in full flower and newness was all around. According to Macrobius, sacrifices were made to her with the intent that the circle of the year may be completed happily. She is likely an original Italian goddess of health and longevity, and perhaps the calendar as well. She embodies the concept of the moon-calculated month within the year. Late legends make her a deified human. This is what happens when you start the video before you figure out what exactly you want to do. I'm going to take a little bit of the two, the green and the blue, just kind of try to blend everything together as best as I can. Well, that's not working. Okay. Mental note, don't do that on the other eye. As you can see, this bald patch here is actually where the eyeshadow base has completely lifted off the eye. So let me try. Let's see if it will let me apply some more. And see if I can't salvage this somehow. We will soon find out. Okay. There we go. This is why it helps to keep your brushes near you, especially when you're trying something new. I'm going to try this glitter. Sorry, my puppy is laying right underneath me and she shifted. And let's see how this works on the eye. Not having much luck with the glitter, but I think it has to do with the fact that the base lifted off and now it's a bit tacky. One of the tales states that Anna Perenna was an old woman from the town of Olive in Latium, the area of central Italy that included Rome. Historically, in 494 BCE, the plebeians, the commoners or peasants, tired of paying taxes and being conscripted into the military while having no voice in the government, hold themselves up in the Mont Sacer, or Sacred Mount, about 3 miles northwest of Rome, with intentions to secede. They were finally coaxed back to Rome with the institution of the tribunes, or representatives of the tribes, whose function was to represent the people's interests and defend their freedoms against those of the patrician class. In the legend, Anna Perenna brought the plebeians cakes and kept them fed. For these reasons, she was always popular with the common people, and after her death, she was considered a goddess. In a later legend, Anna is portrayed as a young woman, the sister of Dido, Queen of Carthage. After the death of her sister, Anna fled to Rome, where the hero Aeneas, the cause of Dido's broken heart and subsequent suicide, had settled. Here she ran afoul of his wife Lavinia, and in despair she killed herself by drowning in the river Numicius. Afterwards, she was said to have been given the surname Perenna and worshipped as a nymph of the river. The river Numicius was considered sacred to Anna Perenna. At its source was built a temple to Aeneas as Jupiter indigenes, and at its mouth was the town of Lavinium, said to be named after Lavinia, the wife of Aeneas, who is an ancient local goddess as well. In fact, it is suspected that Anna Perenna and Lavinia may be aspects of the same goddess. I'm trying this pink color, and I'm going to try to apply it to the upper lid where the lower lid is not something I want to touch very much right now, especially where the eyeshadow base is lifting off. So I'm going to ever so lightly try to apply this pink color and see if it'll let me blend it. We will see. Although it's not looking like it's going to, it looks like it's going to hold that harsh line. But let's see. Sorry, lost my place. Okay, there it is. Lavinia was said to be a prophetess, a common characteristic of water nymphs, whose father was one Aeneas, who the eponymous patron of the river, the Anio. You can see a lot of them had similar names. Which is why it can be a little tongue-twisting to pronounce them all. The similarities of names, Aeneas, Anio, Anna, as well as the rivalry over Aeneas, do suggest this, as does the fact that to get to the Mont Sacer from Rome, one has to cross the Anio, the river. In yet another tale, she was again an old woman. The god of war, Mars, was in love with Minerva, the goddess of war and the arts, and a sworn virgin, whom I do believe I created a video about. If I did, I'll try to link it somewhere up here. We'll see. He asked Anna Perenna to intercede on his behalf. Instead, she dressed herself up as Minerva and, veiled, came to Mars. When he tried to kiss her, she laughed and laughed at him in scorn. Minerva's main Roman festival, the Quinquatrus, was held just 4 days after Anna Perenna's, and this is usually the explanation given for why they are linked in this legend. The festival of Anna Perenna on the 15th of March was beloved by the common people, though it was also an officially recognized holiday. On the evening of the 15th, people would gather at the first milestone on the Via Flaminia in her sacred grove of fruit trees, in bloom at that time of year, by the banks of the Tiber, and camp out, some bringing tents, others making little shelters from leafy tree branches. There they picnicked merrily into the night, feasting, dancing, singing, and celebrating with much wine, toasting to health and long life. It is believed that one would live as many years as the cups of wine one could drink, and so it was, of course, traditional, therefore, to get very, very, very drunk. The festival connected to the old and the new. It is interesting to note that the Via Flaminia was famous for its tombs and cemeteries. Anna Perenna was equated with several goddesses. Luna, the Roman moon goddess, her name literally just means moon, as the measure of time. Themis, the Greek goddess of order and prophetess. The Greek Lo, who is also a moon goddess, or with one of the unnamed nymphs who nursed the god Zeus. Anyway, I hope this video has imparted some knowledge on the Ides of March and the Roman goddess Anna Perenna. I'm sorry the cosmetic look didn't turn out so well. There's always next time, right? I tried to do something a little different, but it didn't work out so well, but partially that was due to the eyeshadow base, which usually works out pretty well lifting off the eye. So I tried to do something with pink and blue, but it didn't work very well. But I hope this video was at least informative between the Ides of March and Roman goddess Anna Perenna. If you enjoyed this video and wish to have more like it, please be sure to let me know in the comments below. Don't be shy. I promise I don't bite. Before you go, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you can stay tuned for new videos. With all of that said, until next time, I wish you joy. I wish you love. I wish you happiness. I wish you prosperity. I wish you good health. I wish you kindness. And most of all, I wish you brightest blessings. And until next time, blessed be.